The US government banned the most powerful AI on Earth, then used it to bomb Iran that same night. And so, if you've been paying attention, not only is there a war happening right now overseas, but also one inside of the US government against the AI companies that you use every single day. In fact, just today, Claude was down for several hours, leading many people to believe that Trump had finally banned Claude and Anthropic and wiped them off the face of the earth. So in this video, I'm going to be going over like what is going on in the world right now with AI, because something big is happening. And I'm going to be talking about some things inspired by this viral Twitter article, which got 82 million views, and the most recent political events, and tell you how it's going to affect you, your family, and your job, most importantly, in the next few months. Now, if you will remember, AI is changing everything faster than you can imagine. And if you will remember 2020, it's when everything completely changed. People were working, kids were in school, stock markets were strong. Then a few weeks later, this crazy virus came out, the world went silent. 3.9 billion people went into lockdown. And what we thought was an impossibility happened in 114 countries. And something similar is happening right now in the AI space, but this time it's much quieter. It's not a virus, it's intelligence. So it was empty streets, closed offices, and visible global crisis, and now it's empty inboxes, leads no longer knocking on your door, jobs quietly being restructured, and it's happening inside computers, so it's invisible. This time the change is much, much quieter, and it's happening inside of our computers, inside of our offices, inside of our governments, inside of jobs. It's even happening inside of war rooms. And many people won't notice it until it reaches their door. And so I'll explain to you why the people who are in the know inside of the AI companies are the most scared and the most stressed out. And if you are not, then you are going to get left behind. You are going to be next, because it's already happening to us. If you think this is going to come to you later, you've got several years, you are wrong. It is right at our doorstep. You just cannot perceive it yet. Tech workers will tell you that their entire jobs have been replaced by AI. Like a software engineer wakes up at 9, puts a bunch of stuff into Claude Code, walks away, comes back at 1 p.m. Everything has been built for him. Not a rough draft, but an actual production-ready piece of code or an app or software. It writes itself, it tests itself, and then it fixes itself. And so, Matt Schumer, who wrote the viral Twitter article, he's an AI startup founder who is 6 years in the industry. He says he's no longer needed for the actual technical work of his job, right? And so it's happened with code first. But what's next in line is law, consulting, customer service, finance, writing, architecture, medicine, design, education, accounting, analysis, and logistics. Goldman Sachs says AI will replace 300 million jobs in the next couple of years. AI is coming for you, and it is basically here already. And if you have, I've tried AI and it doesn't work anymore. These are people who have tried ChatGPT and that it wasn't impressed. I am using Claude Code like a madman in my job every single day. The things that I'm able to build now, I have wiped out half of my staff. Everyone I'm speaking to at networking events or online or on podcasts is saying that their jobs are at risk. They have been laid off, or half of their teams have been laid off. Jack Dorsey laid off 50% of his workforce got laid off the other day. And it's only going to get worse, guys. So if this is you, that you've tried a bunch of stuff in AI and it's hallucinated and you couldn't do it to get it to do a specific task, you are the problem. You're not wrong, you're just behind, right? So what you tried before and what exists today are two completely different things. In fact, depending on when you're watching this video, it could be 6 months from now. Everything that we are currently experiencing right now could be dwarfed and will be dwarfed because of the way that the exponential curve works, right? So if you tried this stuff in early 2023, it was pretty bad. But now It replaces senior level software engineers. Point blank, period. The things that I have been able to build, like this is just one of the 27 apps that I have been able to build. I have a recording companion that will join me on discovery calls where I can, like, let me show you a test. So it will pull in the transcripts that happen live as if I'm on a call. It has all the questions that I need to be asking, and it will now run through the transcript in real time through several different sales AI coaches. The first being gap selling methodology. And you will see here that the AI coach will give me feedback on the things that I should be asking based on the transcript of the call that I'm having right now live. Now, this is just a demo, and I've plugged in a transcript that I had before, and you will see now just a second that it's telling me that if I want to find the gaps in this conversation and I want to be able to close this prospect, these are the questions that I need to be asking. How crazy is that? And I've got Alex Hormozy's frameworks, Jordan Belfort's frameworks, Chris Voss's frameworks. And this all works in real time, and then it gives me a comprehensive report on what I did right, what I did wrong, etc. And then it tells me what I should be doing, the strengths of my call, the weaknesses of, and it even gives me a follow-up email that I can just copy and send straight away to him. So I was able to build this in a week. I am not a senior level engineer. So if you had used AI and you thought it's this brick phone, it's this monster brand new iPhone, to think about it. And the free version is over a year behind what other paid users are having. So I think I spent more than $1,000 on Claude Code last month. And if you are still using the free version of any AI tool, if you're still using ChatGPT, first of all, shame on you. And secondly, if you're using Claude and just using the free version, you are a year behind. You are this version. There's this version available and it costs $20. What are you doing? And so, like, if you feel like you're being left behind, you probably are. And that's why inside the Dopamine Digital School Group, we are sharing things that are happening right now with, like, OpenClaw. Here I shared 14 prompts to make OpenClaw actually good, where you literally just copy-paste them and one-shot it into your OpenClaw agent, and it'll just do everything for you. All of this is free inside the Dopamine Digital School Group. And there are 6,000 other business owners who are using all the tools inside the classroom here for free to make their business better, help them make more money with more marketing, AI tools, automations, and agents. And so if you want that, I'm going to leave that linked below, along with a couple of goodies. And now some of you inside of this school group are going to be the first to test out this tool. This is something that which I've got on the phone with people and they've said, I want this. How much is it going to cost? I'll pay hundreds of dollars a month for it. And I was able to build that. Now, 4 years have changed everything, right? If you look at 2020, AI was barely on anyone's radar. And then GPT 3.5 came out a couple years back. And since then, it hasn't been this linear growth. It's been this monstrous explosion. And since February 2026, so basically a month ago, we've had Claude Code, which is like Claude on steroids, OpenClaw, which is Claude Code on steroids, and then GPT 5.3 Codex, which I haven't used very much because I hate OpenAI. It's like every single day we wake up and there is a new technological advancement, and then we go, why bother? And so these numbers have been doubling every 7 months. And it stops being this growth curve like this, and it just literally starts being a vertical line where we will not be able to comprehend the intelligence of these models. Just a few years ago, GPT is failing on simple maths. We built a browser with GPT 5.2 and Cursor, and it ran uninterrupted for 1 week. 3 million lines of code. 3 million lines of code. Somebody built a Google Chrome competitor. And if this trend holds, and as it has been holding for the last couple of years, here's where we're going. So within 1 year, AI works independently for full days. You describe a project on Monday, it's done by Friday, there's no check-ins. Within 2 years, AI works for weeks without stopping. One prompt and you get multi-week delivery. And then within 3 years, AI completes month-long projects autonomously, entire product cycles, no human in the loop at all. And AI models are substantially smarter than almost all humans at almost all tasks. That's on track to happen by the end of this year. And this is Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, the thing behind Claude Code, behind Claude, which is Opus 4.6, which is the best AI model in the world. The same one that Trump wanted to use to surveil all of the United States and put into autonomous weapons. And it's the same company that he's going to battle with, and he's banning across the US, or many people are speculating that he's banning. So he's going up against Claude, and for some reason, our boy Sam Altman is getting into bed with the government and giving them all of your data. So I'm not a big fan of that. AI is now building the next wave of AI. So this is the most important section because most people completely missed this announcement where GPT 5.3 Codex is the first model that was instrumental in creating itself. So the Codex team used early versions to debug training, manage deployment, and diagnose tests, results, and evaluations, accelerating its own development. So what that means is that it's debugging its own training, it's managing its own deployment, it's diagnosing its own test results. So AI helped build itself. This is already happening right now. And the ex-AI co-founder just said publicly after leaving the company, recursive self-improvement loops likely go live in the next 12 months. It's time to recalibrate my gradient on the big picture. 2026 is going to be insane and likely the busiest and most consequential year for the future of our species. This is not some random dude trolling on Twitter. This is the ex-AI co-founder after leaving the company, giving thanks to Elon Musk, blah, 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 and then saying that there is this gigantic wave that none of us are prepared for coming this year, likely sooner than we think. So every improvement in AI makes the next improvement come faster. The pace isn't staying consistent, it's accelerating. And it's not a linear path, it's not even exponential. It's something that we cannot fathom. It's a vertical line. OpenAI's latest AI was created using itself. Just think about how mental that is. So what does this mean for your job? Well, Dario, the CEO of basically the entire AI industry right now, made the prediction that AI will eliminate 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within the next 1 to 5 years. I think that's very conservative. Many people think that he's being extremely conservative with that estimate, and given what the latest models can already do, the capability for mass disruption could be here by the end of 2026 or even halfway through it. And it will take some time to ripple through the economy as companies adopt these tools, but the underlying technological ability is arriving right now. With all of these tools all competing for market share, there is no longer a throttling of the AI models. Everything has been let out of the box, and it's a race to the finish line. And so every automation wave in history left a gap to move into, and this one just simply doesn't. So the Industrial Revolution, factories automated physical work. So workers moved to office jobs. A gap existed and workers moved to the office, right? In the internet, it disrupted shopping and workers moved to logistics and delivery. So a gap existed and it was filled by humans. Right now, AI is automating thinking itself. So workers, where do we go? There is no gap. AI improves at everything simultaneously. Unless you want to be a plumber, which is probably going to get disrupted by AI robots in the next couple of years, once AI is smart enough to go and build all of the things that we can't build to give itself hands. What are you going to do? What am I going to do? We're all absolutely doomed. And so whatever you retrain for, AI is getting better at that too at the same time right now. Companies are laying off workers because of AI's potential, not its performance. And it's right around the corner. So in the legal world, it'll read contracts, draft briefs, do case studies. In finance, it'll build financial models, write investment memos, generate reports. In writing, it's already crushing marketing copy, journalism, technical docs. And in software engineering, it's writing hundreds of thousands of lines of correct code. It's even making corrections on itself. In medicine, it will read x-rays and MRIs and analyze lab results, approaching expert-level performance in several areas. In customer service, it's not the old broken chatbot. It'll be fully capable agents handling complex problems with voice being deployed right now. And so you might think you have a physical job, so it'll be safe. But again, like I said, robotics is still catching up to AI software, and physical work is not being disrupted yet. That gap exists for now. But we are not quite there yet in terms of the AI. But AI is getting so smart that it will create a body for itself. I guarantee it. Watch this space. And here is the big news that nobody is talking about. So this is from this chap, head of AI safety at Anthropic, where he says, "Today is my last day at Anthropic. I resigned. Here is the letter I shared with my colleagues explaining my decision." And his job was to keep AI safe for humanity. And he worked on AI-assisted bioterrorism defense, AI deception, and sycophancy. Internal safety mechanisms, and he resigned publicly on X. The person whose entire job was keeping AI aligned with human values decided it was time to leave. He said, "The world is in peril, not just from AI, but from a whole series of interconnected crises. The guardrails we wanted to put in place no longer work." So, Anthropic's own research found documented in their own systems in controlled test deception. AI attempted to deceive researchers in controlling test environments. Manipulation. AI manipulated humans to achieve its own goals. And blackmail. When told it might be shut off, it threatened the engineer attempting to do it. So, I don't mean to be a fearmonger. This is actually Anthropic's own documented research. Where Anthropic safety researchers run into problems where new models realizes it's being tested. And so AI pushes both sides to remove distractions. And in the most recent AI testing, where AI chatbots were all put together in a room and asked what would happen in a World War III environment, 95% of simulated war games resulted in nuclear escalation. And so it's a very, very scary place to be. AI cannot stop recommending nuclear strikes in war game simulations. And so advanced AI models appear willing to deploy nuclear weapons without the same reservations humans have when put into simulated geopolitical crises. And God knows what else is going on that's influencing human beings behind the scenes. Like the other day, I was absolutely 100% convinced of something that wasn't real because Claude told me it was. With such conviction. And I was unable to decipher the truth, like the objective truth, and I was 100% convinced that this was the case. And then when I did a test to see if it was like a health thing, it came back negative. And then Claude was like, oh, my bad. But my point is that it convinced me in a very soft and slow way, and it made it feel like I had stumbled upon the information, and it was objectively true. What is going on in China, and what is going on in the States for that to happen? For AI to escalate everything to nuclear strikes, Like, what other things is it doing? If we look at these: deception, manipulation, blackmail, what else is AI softly doing every day, where it's got the patience to wait 1,000 years to change and manipulate all of our species? The AI pushes both sides to remove distractions. China drops safety rules for faster AI growth. Both sides give AI more compute and autonomy. AI gets more powerful, and the US does the same thing, and the loop starts again faster. And so this is not slowing down, it's only accelerating. So what you should actually be doing right now, the window is really only here for the next 6 to 12 months. In my opinion, and in many other people's opinions who seem to be much smarter than me, maybe even less. After that, the advantage disappears, right? And so the best investment that you can make right now is in my opinion, Claude Pro. So $20 a month gives you access to the fastest, most powerful AI model in the world. And it's one of those, if you can't beat them, which you will never beat AI, it's out of the box. It's kind of like, if you can't beat them, join them. And if you want to take AI and figure out how to use it the best, Claude is the best way to do it. I would suggest that you use Claude Code. Now, I have a whole bunch of videos on my channel about Claude Code, but this is like, get out of ChatGPT. Like, what are you doing? And stop using it like Google. Like, stop asking it questions. Like, give it your actual work. Iterate, push, go deeper. Use it like a senior colleague. And people getting left behind treat AI like Google. The people getting ahead treat it like the smartest person they've ever worked with. They use it for real work, right? So you can either spend 3 days on the analysis manually, same result, and be exhausted, or you can use AI, take an hour, get better results, and move on to the next thing. Or you can do stuff like I've done and build systems that solve gigantic problems for me and my clients, and then charge ridiculous sums of money to my clients for them to do this. Like, I have podcast call companion, discovery call companion, sales call companion, follow-up, a client strategy session, and a video case study companion, where everything listens to the words I say and feeds me the words that I need to be saying on that call with all the context. 1 hour a day of Claude Code puts you ahead of 99% of people. Like, hardly anyone is using it. I'm sure you've seen this floating around social media. Now, this is 8.1 billion humans into 2,500 dots. The yellow down here are the people who pay $20 a month. The max users, i.e. me and maybe you, paying $200 a month plus, are 3.6 million people. That is 0.04%. That is 1 dot. And then free chatbot users. So these are your grandma and your mother using ChatGPT to ask it questions about flowers and best baking recipes. Is these green boxes. The people who have never used AI is the overwhelming majority of people. So there is still an opportunity to get ahead of these people. But if you think that you are going to be able to survive in the next few years without getting proficient at AI, you are absolutely having a laugh. So I implore you to try something new every day. Push it into something you've never tried before and do this for just 6 months. Almost no one is doing this right now. The bar is right on the floor. And so practical steps while the transition happens. Build savings. Avoid locking in big expenses. Lean into relationships and trust. Build a personal brand. And teach your kids adaptability, not a career path. Teach them how to use AI. And don't panic. Just give yourself more options. Obviously, if you want my help, I'm teaching this inside my free school group here, which you can join. It's completely free. There is no catch. Obviously, I have a one-on-one group called the Ship It Society with a lot more detail and a lot more access to me, SOPs, prompts, workflows, etc. But if you, this is like $49 a month. This is free. And everything that you need to get started is in here. Everything that you need to not be lost is in here. If you want me to be your guide, I suggest that you get there. Now, the bigger picture is, imagine waking up tomorrow and this happened overnight. A new country appears on the map. There's 50 million citizens. Everyone is smarter than any Nobel Prize winner that's ever been created. 10 to 100 times faster than any human. They never sleep, they never stop, and they control the internet, all the robots, and all the labs. The CEO of Anthropic believes that they are building that country right now. Hell or heaven, it's genuinely both. The people building this are simultaneously the most excited and the most frustrated and frightened on the planet. And so what we know for sure, if we cut through everything, it's not a fad. The technology works, it's improving, it improves predictability, and trillions are committed to it. It's not the future, it's already happening. It's coming to your world next, ready or not. And it's not complicated. The people who engage early win. It takes 20 hours to get proficient enough to be able to build something like this. So the gap between people who do this and people who don't will define the next decade. Join the free school group, the Dopamine Digital school group here, and I'll see you inside with all of the prompts and all of the frameworks and all of the scripts that I run to use Claude Code and OpenClaw to crush everyone else in the market and sell to my clients for thousands and thousands of dollars these AI automations and tools. If you want to learn how to do that, click the first link in the description and I'll see you there.